Join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
The missing 4-year-old. The parents have called the Enigma, but the mother has went for a wall, came home, now they can't find her.
Chad, where are Lori's kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
What's your, is it Dean?
We haven't cleared anybody.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, we are doing a flashback into a deep dive with the Watts case. I see my moderator. Hold on, let me clean my camera. I still haven't had my new setup put together. I do have a new mic. I feel like that just made it worse. Okay, saw my moderators here. Johnny's serving tea. Florida Bass Fishing is here. Pointer Lovers here, and Debbie Fox is here. So I know, okay, now I can go live. Hang on. Just give a little cleanup of that. I do have a new camera and microphone. It's just, guys, I have not had the time or the energy. And when I say I didn't have the energy, news is already out there. People congratulating me in chat. I sort of told some of the chat when our live ended the other night, I am pregnant. So that's why I've been so sick and tired, and I've had to cancel live streams and stuff like that in the past month, or I'm 15 weeks right now. So it's obviously been going on for a while. I just appreciate you guys being patient with me, because there were times where I was just not my normal energy on my live stream. So I just appreciate you guys being there. Yeah, the news is out, and it's just so surreal because I just found out that I'm having a boy too. And speaking of the Watts case, Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant when she passed with a boy. So it's just kind of weird this week, like realizing that when I was putting this live stream together, like, wow, she's where I am right now. It's too bad the way that it ended for her. And I think that a lot of people are just so obsessed with this case and digging into it still that, you know, we just want to know why. We don't understand this case. And I'm here to deep dive with you guys. So Valerie, good to see you. I texted Jay, but I don't know if he got my text. Another reason why I've kind of been out of breath. I don't know why it makes you kind of like out of breath, but I've just felt like I can't breathe at times when I'm live streaming. So I appreciate you guys. And I do have pregnancy brain too. So if I don't think of the right words, etc. Yes, rest in peace, baby Nico. Absolutely. I feel like sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle. Of course, we love seeing the videos of Cece and Bella, but you know, there was somebody who never got to be on video, and Shanann took so many videos and pictures and all that. Like, we do have him on Sono. So I think I do have a picture of his sonogram that I'll be sharing tonight. It's in a text message, but let's get into it, because tonight, hit that like button for one, please. Thank you. Yeah, pregnancy brain is a real thing. So if there's times where I'm like, can't think of the word, like, please just bear with me. And thank you so much, Sherry. I really appreciate you being here all the time and you participating in my Facebook group. And just for that super sticker, I appreciate you very much. So tonight we are obviously deep diving into the topic of NK stalking Shanann. So I just want to start sharing some stuff I put together. I'm going to start off with one of the videos that my dear friend CDT put together. This was put together, I don't know, probably 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, it says. If you're not subscribed to CDT, she hasn't been going live, but She did tell me privately that she might be coming back to YouTube. She might not be doing true crime. She might be doing other topics. So, sometimes it's good to kind of decompress from true crime. So subscribe to her. This video is linked in the description box. Hi, Tony, and everyone else who's joined. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Brody. I appreciate that very much. I'm glad to see you. Valerie's here. Good to see you. Hi, Natasha, Adrian. All right, guys. So, Melmax here. Yay. Everyone's here. So good to see you guys. So this is going to kind of lay out a little bit of our topic. It's 4 minutes long. I thought this was a really good thing that she put together. Chris Watts' discovery files, Kessinger's phone activity. So let's get into it, guys. All right, so.
Hi.
Of course, that is NK's beautiful voice, obviously being sarcastic. And this is a page from the discovery. The device is an Apple iPhone 6S, serial number, blah, blah, blah. The current operating system is 11.4.1. The device phone number is blah, blah, blah. The device Apple ID is, and then it's redacted at gmail.com. The device stored 34,527 timeline entries, 8,428 images, 166 contacts, 820 images, 12 audio recordings, 8,152 SMS messages, 400 MMS messages, and 206 entries in the call log. The device is devoid of any calls, messages, photographs, or videos involving Watts. There is no listing for Watts, nor even his number in the device contact list. So they were able to obviously pull what they could with everything listed right here. But anything related to Chris, she purposely and deliberately deleted. So when we see in cases, and Karen Reed being one of them. Thank you so much, the purple one. Thank you so much for that. Towards the baby boy, ATS. I'm usually a silent watcher. Love your channel. Congrats. Thank you. And I love your Prince picture. Rest in peace to Prince. Yes, great artist. And hi, Alex. Alex Erickson also has a really good channel. If you guys haven't, I don't know why I'm saying this because I know everybody here is probably subscribed to Alex, but for replay viewers and just to give her a shout out, she does great work on her channel and we love her very much. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the congratulations. So when people, I don't know about you guys, and let me know in the replay viewers, and let me know in chat, if people are deleting stuff off of their devices, does that send a red flag to you guys? For me, it personally does. I know that she came up with the excuse that she deleted everything because, he just grossed her out and he was lying to her. It was the lie that made her delete it, quote unquote. But yet at the same time, she's saying things with her father in the interviews like, we want to help you guys out as much as we can, but we want to make sure that we're protected. So how do you want to help somebody out in the investigation as much as you can while also deleting stuff off of your device? The thing that I have a true problem with, yes, I believe that Prince was murdered as well. I really do. Something's very fishy there. I agree. It's just what I have a huge problem with is FBI 100%. A Million Sparkles says CDT moderates for a channel that I follow. That is not at all true crime, and she's such a badass. I hope she continues to have the best endeavor on whatever she does. Oh, really? I didn't realize that she was what channel? I'm curious now. She is definitely in the social media realms. You can find her on TikTok. She's definitely on TikTok if you guys want some CDT. So I just have a problem with the way that this investigation went down because FBI absolutely can get deleted messages. And for some reason, Sabia and Lauren channel, I think I know that one. Is that a couple? Yeah, I actually think it would be the opposite. People tend to reread messages of an old relationship. Right. And then, yeah, especially when there's no closure. And we know that in her interviews, she was like asking, like, were they even getting divorced? I don't even know what he was telling me was true or not, what was lies, blah, blah, blah. So it just doesn't seem like she had the closure. So it's also interesting that she deleted stuff too. But yeah, or use them as blackmail, right? I mean, they're involved in this huge situation and case, and she decides to delete it. I wonder if her cloud has all the purged data. See, that's the thing is like FBI has the capabilities to pull back anything you deleted. Now she said that she doesn't have social medias, and she was listing off the stuff that she doesn't have. She was like, I just have LinkedIn. What she didn't list off was Snapchat. And we know that Chris had Snapchat, and we know that he had the secret calculator app. So it just makes me wonder, was there anything on Snapchat or that secret calculator app that, oh, Seth, that's so sweet. And hello, that they could have dug into. But because of the plea deal and because the investigation ended, there was no inquiring further into deleted matter. Now, the prosecution also had NK listed as a witness. So I feel like if things were going to be dug into, it would have to be by the hands of it being almost like forced. Like, oh no, we need to like pull back these messages. We need to look deeper into this. Like, how much did she know? District Attorney Rourke basically says to the public that she deleted the messages and it hampered the investigation. And that is the exact phrase that he used. And it's just unsettling because this was a huge case and hampered basically, I mean, if you look it right up, says hinder or impede the movement of progress. So put those words in his sentence. She hindered the movement of progress of the investigation. She impeded the movement of progress of this investigation. That isn't somebody that you should just be like, no, she had no involvement. Trust me. So I feel like that's another reason why a lot of us have a lot of questions is we all know that there was stuff that could have been dug into with when it comes to the mistress that just never was. So we just don't have the closure and the answers that we need. And I feel like everyone's going to always wonder, like, what was deleted? Why did she delete them? And it's just not a good look for her.
It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back. Bye. Hi. It's me. You guys just call me back when you have a chance.
So this comes right out of the phone data review discovery files. September 1st, 2017. Remember, the murders take place August 13th, 2018. So very question, like, is anyone else wondering why she was looking her up? Kessinger searched the internet for the name Shanann Watts.
Hi.
So I just want to know how you met him, where you met him, how long you guys were dating.
Here, another page pulled right out of the discovery. I know you guys have seen this stuff. Those who have been watching this for a while. I still get comments on videos that show these pages that say, why? I never knew that she was looking them up. So it's just something that we kind of have to hammer in because I believe, much like the oil leak, these searches are prime. what's the word? Factors in the complete story. So August 3rd, she searches Chris Watts. Now she searched him before she ever searched anything to do with Shanann. So a lot of people wondered, did she meet her or Shanann because of Thrive? Did she see Shanann at one of those, because she did that obstacle course at some children's hospital, and everyone's wondering if that was the one Shanann worked at. It seems to me like her first target was Chris. That's just my personal opinion. And then I think once she starts looking to him, either they met at a gym or they met at something to do with the oil company and training and all that. I think that she fell down the rabbit hole of like his life. I mean, when you go to Shanann's Facebook page, even now, I mean, you could just, for me at least, I can just watch her videos, and for some reason, I'm like, oh my god, am I on like the third one of her Facebook lives? Like, she's just somebody that you just watch, and you're just like interested in. Like, you're just like, how is she? Like, what's their life like? I don't know about you guys. That's just how I feel. Florida says, why would she be looking her up a year prior? She wasn't contracted with Anadarko the prior year. And hello, Jen Lou. It's good to see you. And Dustin, everyone else who joined. Thanks for being here. It's just, she definitely knows how to keep your attention, even the haters. Exactly. I mean, there was stuff that she would say and do in her lives, Shanann, that she would say and do, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would never do that, or that's interesting, but just not my style. Like, it was just stuff, like everything she did, like even when she would be baking, I'm like, oh wow, like that looks really good. And when she made the prime rib, I'm like, oh, interesting. I've never made a prime rib before. Just everything about her was very interesting. Again, I don't know if she'd be somebody that I would be friends with in the real world, Shanann, I mean, but even NK, definitely not, I don't think. But even still, I respected her, dare I say thrive, her drive and just ambition. For anyone, much like a girlfriend I know that sells like MLM stuff, you watch it and you're like, oh, I don't know if that's for me, but you're interested in the way that they're like presenting themselves on social media, and like, wow, they really put themselves out there. Shanann was very charismatic. MLM and direct marketing companies recommend her videos for new distributors. Oh wow, I'm not surprised. So yeah, hi Roxanne. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Roxanne has sent me a Cash App to feed the baby. All I do is say that I'm craving a certain food. She's like, I sent you a Cash App. I'm like, what? So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Yeah, she was very enthusiastic and energetic. She was. So I feel like what we're seeing in some of these searches with Nicole searching Chris first, he was somebody that she was interested in for whatever reason. If it had to do with, recruiting, some people think he was targeted so they could recruit him for this explosion plan. Some people think that she just met him at the gym and, was just interested in him. He wasn't a bad looking guy. Maybe she just was like, oh, he's cute. What's he all about? Then stumbles on the wife.
And those kind of things initially.
Okay. I think I met him sometime in June, probably early June. It might have been May. It was just talking at work. It was pretty casual. And he didn't have a wedding ring on his finger. And every time I talked to him, he didn't tell me that he was in a relationship. He didn't even mention his kids right away either.
So it's interesting that she describes how they met. Like, he didn't wear a wedding ring. Now, so he lost a lot of weight and the wedding ring wouldn't fit. That's his story. And she says he didn't even mention his kids either. And yet Chris's story is, They would talk and make small talk at work, and he would say things like, we moved here from North Carolina to Colorado. And she said, what's all this we stuff? And he said that she saw his lock screen on his phone. So, your lock screen. Here's mine. And he said, she saw my lock screen and it was my girl's. So she knew I had children. And yet here she's painted it all as like they would talk, but yet he never mentioned his kids. So they're both liars. Who would you believe? Do you believe Chris? And, she saw the lock screen and knew about the kids pretty instantly in their conversations? Or do you believe Nicole Kessinger when she says, and he didn't even really mention his kids? This also just kind of gives a little timeline. This is in July 2018, and Shanann is already in North Carolina. They're talking on the phone 5 minutes, 43 minutes. One of them, they get off the phone, and Shanann made 4 more unanswered calls to Watts. So is he at her driving to her house or from her house? So he's ignoring Shanann's calls, or what's going on there?
And then one day he told me that he had 2 kids. I was like, that's pretty cool. And started telling me about his kids.
That sounded like a sarcastic comment.
No, I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, oh, he's a dad. It was like right around Father's Day too. So whenever that is in June.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not good with holidays.
He told me he had kids, and then it was.
I do think that she studied them, absolutely. And I'm going to lay out why I think that with some visuals. So stay tuned. Now here in July, she's searching man I'm having an affair with, says he will leave his wife. So, she tells the agents, I was under the impression that they were getting divorced. I didn't know that she was pregnant. So here it's like, how do you know that you're having an affair with somebody though? Like, would you count it as an affair if they were getting divorced? So this Google search sort of gives it away, in my opinion. Like, she knew they're not really like in close to the divorce stage. Although Chris does kind of admit that like he led her on to think that they were closer to the divorce than they actually were. So I do think that he's so spineless that he kind of let her believe that like, yes, I'm totally done with her. But he was just so weak that once he got to North Carolina and he's around his in-laws and he's around his family, that he started to kind of second guess like the divorce, like the speed of it, I should say. Maybe he did accept it was over, but they weren't even really separated. I mean, they're living under the same roof. Kelly, thank you so much. Hello, Amber in chat. Thanks for being a member for 5 months. I appreciate you. Pointer Lover, 22 months. Wow. So happy for you all. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's been rough. I won't get into the details, but it's definitely been a hard one. This, I don't know if you guys ever drink coconut water. It's so good. It's very refreshing. Seth, thank you so much for my future nephew. Thank you. It's so weird. Like, I haven't even told some of my family, so you guys should feel special. And my Facebook friends, like, people just don't know. Like, nobody watches me on here, like my friends and family. So you guys are like a whole separate family that I have. Mrs. Peacock loves coconut water. It's good. All right.
Father's Day shortly after that. So that's what I do now. And I was like, I thought it was cute. And then he's telling me about him. He's pretty excited about him. And then he mentioned that he did have a significant other. And then
he mentioned that he did have a significant other. Significant other or a wife? It's just the way that she tries to like downplay it and like add distance, even in describing him talking about Shanann that way. Like, I don't see Watts saying, I have a significant other. Like, nobody really has a conversation with somebody and is like, my significant other. Like, unless you're talking to somebody like, I don't know, the way I would talk to you guys, maybe, where I'm like, I don't always say my husband or my hubby. Like, I might say my significant other, and I don't know. It's just something that I just feel like she's using as like distancing language, where she doesn't have to come out and say, like, he told me that he did have a wife. Like, she doesn't even want to say the word wife. But I do find it interesting here in the discovery. During the conversation, Kessinger called Watts and left a voicemail. Now, we heard that voicemail in the beginning of this. Following an eerily disconcerting childlike giggle, she told Watts, "I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back. Bye." Immediately after ending his call with Shanann, Watts called Kessinger briefly.
And he told me that those two were in the process of a separation.
Did he mention the children's name or his significant other's name?
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while.
Now, remember that, okay, when I show you these other visuals and stuff that I have lined up. I didn't know his significant other's name for a while. Right. That's why you're searching her name in September 2017. Like, holy cow, like so many lies. It's unbelievable. She can't say it, just like their names. Oh, I can't stand her. I know, Tater. And you know what's interesting too is when you listen to her interviews, which it's like nails on a chalkboard, but if you can get through it, she doesn't ever say Bella's name unless it's forced out of her. Same with Shanann. She says Cece pretty easily and without problem. So it's just always made CDT, and I wonder, you know, her direct involvement in this. And again, it's not ever proven, but did she have more involvement with Bella and Shanann than she did with Cece's death? Again, speculation. I'm not even 100% there, but it's just interesting that she cannot say Bella's name. Maybe Bella was more resistant to her being older, maybe. Yeah, there was something that was keeping her from, I don't know. It's so bizarre. Yeah, maybe when I think that she met the kids when Shanann was in Arizona. I don't know when, but I think that she met the kids. Maybe she had a more bond with Cece, or I don't know. Just think it's very interesting because Bella put up a fight, right? Was she witness to that? I don't know. Again, this is just speculation. Nobody knows what happened. I know a lot of people say Chris confessed and he told us what happened. He said he held them by their wrists and dropped them in by their wrist feet first, and it wasn't hard to get them in. I mean, that's a lie. Straight up lie. His confessions have never matched the physical evidence there, including, oh, when you lift up the fitted sheet at Survey, you're going to find toys and extra clothing from the girls. Well, for one, why did they have extra clothes? And for two, no, that fitted sheet at the crime scene, there was no toys under that sheet. So again, small detail, but another example of his confessions don't match what was actually there at the scene. Now, you could contribute that to, well, he's just a liar, but it's just interesting. Her erotic charge from playing dangerous games ended with the unraveling. When the unravelings occurred, that was the moment she threw Chris under the bus. She checked out the moment it was completed and confirmed. Yep. I was wondering if NK might have even been stalking Nicole Atkinson too. They also talk alike and say the same stuff, oddly enough. Interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Nicole Atkinson makes appearances in more than one of Shanann's live streams. And the way that NK repeats the stuff that Shanann herself says, like, she must have been watching some of these live streams like numerous times. Then I'll show you guys in a minute. I think she was jealous of Bella's relationship with her dad, just like Shanann's. Yes. Missing and murdered kids and wife. Let's delete everything on my phone that would prove I'm innocent. Right. I mean, I can't get past that. And people say things like, well, she was probably just so embarrassed because of the sexual pictures and content. That's why she's in her, hold on, I gotta remove this so you can see full screen. That's why she's in her interviews with Kobach and she's like this with her, I can't do it without like an ugly double chin. Sorry guys. With her like chest out and like talking to Kobach, like sitting that way. Like that girl was not shy. She was not one of those girls that was, oh, I'm so embarrassed, you know, of those texts you're going to read and see. Like she didn't care. Like she has no morals. She has no, she didn't care. Oh, Melanie, you made it. So glad. Do you guys know what I'm talking about though? Like when she's in there, I can't do it because this chair has like arms and like this back here, but she's in she's in that interview, you know, talking to Kobach, like, you know, like flirty in a way with her chest out, like, yeah, no moral compass. Yeah, she destroyed. That's another detail that I feel like we forget about. That's just like, boom, red flag. Not only does she delete everything, she destroys a SIM card. Remember, she's texting with Kobach. We'll have to go through those texts again. And she's like, hey, I'm at the store right now, blah, 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 getting a new SIM card. Like, really? Really? Yeah, calling and texting Agent Kobach at 2 a.m. She was not shy and she did not care. Yeah, she pushed her chest out. She was not modest in those interviews. Let's just call it like it is.
And then I think he told me his kids' names pretty quick, but to be honest with you, on an exact date of when that happened, I don't know. And I just feel like some of this happened so long ago that I can't tell you like the exact words of the exact conversation at the exact time and place, because it's like we had a lot of conversations. I mean, we talked every single day. So it's like I'm trying to help you guys with the stuff like the stuff that's more current. I can give you guys a lot more like detail and exact times. But when you're asking me about something that happened 6 weeks ago and exactly what was said, it's like, I mean, I'm sure I can give you a general idea, but to be honest with you, like to pinpoint exact words, it's not going to happen.
Did you ever give him like books or articles or anything to read about saving your marriage? Did you ever provide anything to him like that?
About saving his marriage?
Yeah, like how to recover a marriage or.
Isn't it funny the way she just questioned what Kobach said? And thank you, Lila, for becoming a member. Appreciate you. About saving his marriage. Like she's just so like, why the heck would I do that?
Or how to save your marriage. You know, there's all sorts of publications and books out there.
No, but I did tell him, and I don't know if I did this through text or phone. That will be something you guys will, I'm sure, figure out. But I told him a few times, like, I think that you should take the time to read some articles about what separate.
No, I don't think we need to go into it again because we did a whole live stream about this, but I'm leaving it here up on the screen for those to read.
Separation does to kids.
We want to show that you were never near him that day. Period.
I mean, you guys can track my stuff.
No, yeah, I mean that was something we will have to get a warrant for, anyways. I'm just saying, if we asked for it, would you have any objections to that?
No, you can have it.
So.
This is such a good video that CDT put together too, because I mean, it concludes everything as far as her searches for her. So right now we have evidence she searched, and just talking about Shanann, not Chris. September 2017, January 2018, both of those times before she ever worked with Chris. And then here we have the night of their last date, which was Saturday, August 11th, 2018, having concluded her evening tryst with Watts. Kessinger searched the internet on topics like Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, Ronnie Watts, 2825 Saratoga Trail. Mind you, she'd been to that house numerous times. So why exactly is she searching their address? We will never know. Why exactly she's searching Ronnie? We will never know. We've theorized. But, you know, Shanann is in North Carolina, or I'm sorry, Shanann is in Arizona at this point, and she's searching Shanann Watts. And remember, Shanann's Facebook picture and all her posts all summer long have shown her pregnant, have shown the sonogram, have shown a, you know, onesie baby outfit she was going to get her. She's made posts that say, like, I need to go buy maternity clothes because I gave all mine away, and talking about some stroller or crib or something related to a baby, something that she bought that was on sale. I mean, there was so much evidence on Shanann's Facebook that was talking about her pregnancy and that they were expecting a baby. And for for NK to say things like, I didn't know she was pregnant, it's like, we know that you were looking her up. She has a shirt that literally says, oops, we did it again. Do not tell us that you didn't know she was pregnant.
I'm a pretty boring person.
Well,
I don't
it sounds
go
like
too
you
many
just went to
places.
work that day and then you came home and you were there at 3:45.
Yeah, like give or take like 5 minutes. But yeah, so 3:45. I meet Jim there. Yeah, I would
And
totally.
so Jim is understand from an investigative point, he could be a person who could say, yeah, I was there at 3:45. He doesn't know Chris. He doesn't know anything. He could say with one phone call, yeah, she came in at 3:45. Done.
Totally.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't have to ask anything more than, hi, Chris, my name's Kevin. Or Jim. And I'm not saying you have to give it to you.
Just leave Jim alone. Jim does not need to be wrapped up in this.
If at some point I needed Jim's info to, let's say we couldn't find your phone records.
Kessinger searched Google on topics like, can cops trace text messages? How long do phone companies keep text messages? Difference between text message content and text message detail.
You can have them. I will give them to you.
Would you tell me who Jim was?
If you had to. I don't really want to involve him in this. That is not fair to him. That's not, no, if I do not have to do that.
That's fine.
Okay, now let me start showing you some visuals that really indicate to me that this stalking ran deep. Example number 1.
Life happens. So one is in the oven. Let me put the cheese and the ricotta back in the refrigerator. What's the mean faces for?
Seeing Shanann's confusion in this live stream and knowing that the Mistress cyber-stalked the family the year prior, many web sleuths wondered if it was the Mistress leaving the mean faces during her live stream, possibly under a troll account, though we will never know the truth.
What's the mean faces for?
Christmas time appeared to always be a
I don't know why it always skips when I'm trying to play a minute mark. But yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to show you guys, was that live stream that Shanann was doing baking, and somebody was kind of trolling her live chat. She was confused why. And she even says, you know, what's the mean faces for? We don't know if that was NK, but many have speculated. There was just another part I wanted to show you guys, and now I'm freaking pissed that, okay, here we go.
Days we all do. We're human, right? But on those days, I choose to do something that will bring me up, whether it's reading a book or reading a quote or reading something, finding something positive to read.
I told him a few times, you should take the time to read some articles about what separation does to kids. And I was like, I think you guys should just read about it. Just read. Like, that's what I always used to tell him. I'd always tell him to, like, I tell people to read about everything. Reading is so good for you.
Because I'm choosing
So you guys see what I'm saying there? Shanann's ranting in her live stream, and she says, I read a book. I just, you just got to read. And then all of a sudden, NK's describing something in her police interview, and she's like, I would just tell him, like, and I tell everybody, like, read, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, okay. Now, some people might think that's reaching and that, everyone likes to read, but there's more. And I'll show you some of them right now.
When I take my makeup off, you always want to two things first. Wash your hands. And two, wash your makeup off first. Always wash your makeup off first before washing it with cleanser. Hey, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Can you grab me my charger with the wall plug, please? My hands are wet. Why is what, Sharon? I'm gonna wash my makeup off. Again, you guys, no judgment after this video here. I'm really surprised. Chris is like, I'm surprised you're doing it. I was like, I know. He knows me. I should make Chris go pour me a glass of wine. Hey, Chris. He's doing laundry. I hear him in the laundry room. He needs to get me my wine. So,
what do you need?
Very little bit. Jody wants to know where my wine is. Doing laundry, I told her.
Yeah.
He's doing the kids' laundry.
Laundry.
We don't dry the kids' clothes, so he's hanging them because he's being a good dad and help me out. You just say the word and I'll make him wash his face. I'll throw another video on here in just a minute doing his face. He does whatever I tell him to anyway, so he'll do it. Give me 5 minutes, Jody, and I'll go get him from the laundry room and have him wash his face. Hey, Chris?
Yes.
You're wanted. He does whatever I tell him to anyway, so he'll do it.
But I can tell you right now, if I would have texted him and just say whatever I needed to say, he'll do it.
The babies are in school.
Okay, so she says he does whatever I tell him to, so he'll do it. And then in NK's first FBI interview, sorry that the sound is like that. It's that hidden mic that the FBI agent had, so we had to do enhancing and all that. I can tell you right now, if I were to text him and just say whatever I needed to say, he would do it. So it's just very similar. Good night, Seth, and thank you so much for the super chat. It's just very similar to what Shanann said in that live stream. So I don't know if anyone kind of caught on to that, but one more time.
He does whatever I tell him to anyway, so he'll do it.
But I can tell you right now, if I would have texted him and just say whatever I needed to say, he'll do it.
So do we have that example? We have the example of the book reading.
The babies are in school today. It's the only way I can get all this done in one time. Literally, my entire kitchen is baked ready. Definitely would not be able to do this with the kiddos here.
I'll look at apartments for you guys, and like I would tell them, oh, I found an apartment that's like got a pool for your kiddos, and it's got a park for your kiddos, and
definitely would not be able to do this with the kiddos here.
Got a pool for your kiddos, and it's got a park for your kiddos, and
so also interesting that kiddos comment and that live stream that Shanann was doing baking is the same live stream where she's like, what's with all the mean faces? So that was in November 2017. Again, NK Googled Shanann in September 2017. So, clearly she's watching her, in my opinion. Now, some people told CDT and us when we were looking at this, and we noticed that, oh, everybody says the word kiddos. You're reaching. I really don't think so, because of the example, the book example, the kiddos example, and the he'll do whatever I tell him to example. Like, she literally was stalking and obsessed, just very much watching everything that Shanann was doing. And it's very unsettling. It's very unsettling. Yeah, she was studying her. And let's not forget, she says things in her first interview like, well, I mean, she's home all the time, right? So, you know, she could have been cheating on Chris. Like, she says stuff like that. She, you know, she's, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, the way that she talks about her is like she like knows her. It's like, how would you know that? How would you know? Let me share my screen. I wrote down the timestamps in case it loses my spot. I don't know why it does that. Bear with me, guys. Here's an example of something that she says. It's like, wait, what? You're acting like you literally know this woman and you've only known him for allegedly 6 weeks. And again, we went through in our last live stream about why I think that they knew each other longer, etc.
I don't know. I mean, he didn't elaborate.
Okay. So this conversation is with Kobach after she's talking about how he allegedly said the sheets smell. I don't believe that he ever said that, but again, she remembers it weeks and weeks later, supposedly.
It's just like, I mean, like I said, he always cleans the house, but even if his kids were to be in diapers and like have accidents, like, I just feel like the man keeps his house so clean, and she does too. They both must have to like coexist.
Confront him while
and she does too. The man keeps his house so clean, and she does too.
Like, I just don't see anything and like have accidents. Like, I just feel like the man keeps his house so clean, and she does too. They both must have to like coexist in a house that clean. But like,
I'm sorry, but she's in North Carolina most of the time. You allegedly know Chris. So how do you know that she does too? It's just one of those things that's like, wait, so were you watching them? Like, you literally are watching every single live stream that Shanann had, in my opinion. All right. Let's see what else I got on here. Some of these clips are in my documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, you can watch it fully.
The Watts ring in 2018 with smiling faces. But within a week, unbeknownst to anyone, someone was lurking in the shadows and behind a computer screen. On the same
to read.
I told him a few times, you should take the time to read some articles.
faces. But within a week, unbeknownst to anyone, someone was lurking in the shadows and behind a computer screen. On the same day Shanann threw a Thrive party at her house.
Okay, so keep in mind the Thrive party. This is Troy McCoy and his his wife. That's Chris Watts' coworker. His wife Juanita, which, by the way, in around Christmas time live stream, so a month before this party, Juanita commented in Shanann's live stream. So they know them pretty well. Even though Troy tries to distance himself in his interview from Chris, they were friends. Anyways, so the day that coworkers are at the party, and mind you, Troy's all involved in this whole oil leak the day that, you know, everything goes down on Monday, allegedly the day that Chris dumped all the bodies there. Troy's involved. He's at the house for the party while the Thrive party is taking place, and little Cece is on the right making her little vision board with crayons. NK is Googling and looking up Shanann. So she very well probably saw all these posts.
Mistress was searching her on the internet. This is also the same week as Shanann's 34th birthday, which sadly would be her last.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shanann. Happy birthday to you.
What? Did you blow my candles out?
I love the little squeal that Cece does at the end. All right, so carrying on. Again, we've seen this page already in the video that CDT did and we broke down.
Through a data pull of the mistress's phone, we see in the discovery files it states, several searches for Christopher Watts can be found prior to August 12, 2018. These entries appear to have been deleted. I did locate name search.
Happy birthday.
Pull of the mistress's phone, we see in the discovery files it states, several searches for Christopher Watts can be found prior to August 12, 2018. These entries appear to have been deleted. I did locate name searches for Chris Watts that dated back to August 3rd, 2017, and Shanann Watts dating back to January 7th, 2018, as well as September 1st, 2017.
Okay, I'm just pausing it for a second. So down here at the bottom, it does have like a banner on it describing the post, or I mean the date of the post, but this is what NK would have been seeing on that day that she searched Shanann. And it was a post that Shanann put up about their getaway, that they were going on that trip. It says, congratulations, Shanann. You qualify for all exclusive lifestyle getaway for two to Puerto Vallarta with airfare included. So just to put on there what exactly NK would be seeing as she is searching them. EE Caroline says, would be interesting to know if NK was just researching Chris, or was she shopping for guys? Exactly. That would be very interesting to know. In so many theories, it could go so many different ways. And also, EE Caroline, unrelated to Watts, but I don't know if you saw on my community page or in a pinned comment on my last Micah live stream, but as soon as we got off the live, I started thinking about the case from different angles. I might get into my alternative theories maybe tomorrow night, but I had heard, I don't know if you heard either, EE Caroline, but that 911 call is being rumored to say that it was an AI. So they take Micah's voice and they use her phone, possibly call 911, but it's an AI app. So I don't know if you heard that. Again, sorry, not related to Watts, but had to talk to her about that because I didn't get a chance to say it live because it was stuff I found out afterwards. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think. When I'm scrolling up, looking through chat, because I know you guys got a lot to say too. Okay. Oh gosh, my ex-husband had several mistresses. The last one knew enough about me and her mother, tried to Facebook friend request me. Wow. I'm sorry that that happened to you, but and that's absolutely crazy. Thank you for sharing it.
These entries were deleted but were recoverable. On August 3rd, 2017, a Thrive-related Facebook post. Chris deleted his Facebook the week of the murders, so we can't go back to his and look at what he posted. But this date, a whole year prior to the murders, is significant.
So this obviously isn't from Chris's Facebook because he deleted his, but if she was going to look at Shanann's that day, or, you know, if she wanted to know what was going on in their life around that time that she Googled Chris first, it was a Thrive related post about, 7 consecutive months of double-digit compounding growth. Let's see what else I got lined up here. So this isn't anything to play. I just wanted to share the visual. July 14th, 2018. She is in North Carolina at the time. Just ignore the text on the left, although that is one of Nico's sonograms, one of the only images that we really have of Nico. But I want to focus mostly on the baby onesies. So Shanann bought those. She bought those before she knew the sex of the baby, but it bothers me because mostly because of what NK says to Chris. And she tells him, I would like to give you a son someday. Now, Shanann ends up posting, about, did she post about the gender? Because I know that they canceled the gender reveal party. Did she ever publicly post that they were having a boy? I'm trying to remember. Help me out, guys. But either way, for NK to say something to Chris about, I'd like to give you a son, and that she likely saw this onesie, it's just another example of her, cyber stalking, manipulating, just being like a gross mistress pretty much. But it was out there. I remember seeing his name on a Facebook post, but not sure when. Okay, no, she didn't. Okay. So she never posted that it was a boy, but this onesie definitely looks like it's for a boy. And according to Chris, he states that I'd like to give you a son. Now, Chris knew that they were having a boy. Did he ever tell NK that? And if so, when did he tell NK that? And when did NK tell him she'd like to give him a son? Unsettling for sure, in my opinion. All right. Then this last bit to share, and then we can just chit chat. I think I've shared everything I had lined up. So it's not a typographical error in the report the detectives are reporting. What was contained in the data from her phone? I don't know the answer to the question of why or how those dates ended up in her phone. So District Attorney Rourke was straight up asked why Nicholkessinger had searches for Chris and Shanann a year before she ever met them, worked with him at Anadarko, and a year before the murders took place. What's even more unsettling is at first when the media asked, the police department, what's with this search here in the discovery, it says that she was searching them in 2017. The police department tried to say that it's a typo. Now, why did they try to say it was a typo? I'm not sure, because District Attorney Rourke came out pretty much saying nope, not a typo. Can't explain it, but not a typo. So it's like, did somebody just try to lie about it, or what's going on here?
And Shanann, he says it is not a typographical error in the report. The detectives are reporting what was contained in the data from her phone. I don't know the answer to the question of why or how those dates ended up on her phone. When you ask me if I have verified that information, the answer to your question is no. Nicholkessinger told us that she met and started the relationship with the defendant in 2018. So where that anomaly in the data comes from, I can't answer it for you. I don't know the answer to it.
What did that cause you to do with your phone, though?
Oh, what? When I deleted those? I was just kind of grossed out by him, to be honest with you. I was just like, I don't know what's going on right now, but you just lied to me, and I don't want to see this come over my phone anymore. So I removed it.
So you already said, but you removed text messages?
I deleted all of his stuff.
She originally came forward and spoke to investigators on her own volition. Prior to the time, unfortunately, that she came in and spoke with investigators, she had deleted all of the information off of her phone that had any connection between her and Chris Watts. That hampered the investigation. That hampered our ability to get that electronic digital connection between the two. She was interviewed on multiple occasions. I believe that for the most part, she was forthcoming in the course of those investigations. We don't have any reason to believe that she had any prior.
Listen to this part. So first off, he says, I believe for the most part that she was, honest. No, we don't want to hear for the most part. We want to know that she was truthful 100%. Oh my gosh, why does it freaking do that?
Connection between the
Sorry, if you guys don't know, StreamYard's very touchy. So is YouTube with the pointer.
On her phone. When you ask me if I have verified that information, the answer to your question is no. Nicole Kessinger told us that she met and started the relationship with the defendant in 2018. So where that anomaly in the data comes from, I can't answer it for you. I don't know the answer to it.
What did that cause you to do with your phone, though?
Oh, what? When I deleted those? I was just kind of grossed out by him, to be honest with you. I was just like, I don't know what's going on right
Prior to the time, unfortunately, that she came in and spoke with investigators, she had deleted all of the information off of her phone that had any connection between her and Chris Watts. That hampered the investigation. That hampered our ability to get that electronic digital connection between the two. She was interviewed on multiple occasions. I believe that for the most part, she was forthcoming in the course of those investigations. We don't have any reason to believe that she had any prior knowledge or involvement in the death of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. I think that's the best way I can answer that.
Woman who had an affair with Chris Watts told our partners at the Denver Post that she hardly knew anything about Shanann and that she had only recently started a relationship with Chris. Well,
on her own volition.
She hardly knew anything about Shanann. Like what? But you're searching her numerous times.
Recently started a relationship with Chris. Well, there's now
The death of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. I think that's the best way I can answer that.
Woman who had an affair with Chris Watts told our partners at the Denver Post that she hardly knew anything about Shanann and that she had only recently started a relationship with Chris. Well, there's now evidence to suggest that she knew about Shanann almost a year before the murders.
Contact 7 investigates Jace Larson here in the studio with that part of this grim story. Jace?
Yeah, guys, police interviewed Nicole Kessinger, the other woman. She came forward to police about the same time that Watts' employer, Anna Darko, had found emails indicating a relationship between the two. This is Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts on a secret trip together the month before he killed his family. The two took pictures and videos during their secret time together in July. Nicole later talked to police.
And then one day he told me that he had 2 kids. I was like, that's pretty cool. And started telling me about his kids.
That sounded like a sarcastic comment.
No, I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, oh.
All right, we already heard that. She's hard to listen to. But yeah, so the way that she kind of plays it off is like, oh, and then one day he told me about his kids. What do you mean one day? We have proof of you looking at Shanann's Facebook. Shanann's over there talking about her kiddos. You knew very well that he had kids. So again, I just hope that I was able to kind of lay out to you guys. Now, without pausing, I'll play the little clips again. Some people missed it. Somebody asked, so she was stalking. Yes, she was. If you just joined, rewind. I've laid out not only circumstantial evidence that she was stalking her, but I mean, it's clear as day in the discovery files. Her own phone data shows that. The brown bikini. It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh, so cute. He has kids. So cute, right?
When I take my makeup off, you always want to 2 things first. Wash your hands. And 2, wash your makeup off first. Always wash your makeup off first before washing it with cleanser. Hey, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Can you grab me my charger with the wall plug, please? My hands are wet. Why is what, Sharon? I'm gonna wash my makeup off. Again, guys, no judgment after this video here. I'm really surprised. Chris is like, I'm surprised you're doing it. I was like, I know. He knows me. I Should make Chris go pour me a glass of wine. Hey, Chris. He's doing laundry. I hear him in the laundry room. He needs to get me my wine. So,
What do you need?
very little bit. Jody wants to know where my wine is. Doing laundry, I told her.
Yeah.
He's doing the kids' laundry.
Laundry.
We don't dry the kids' clothes, so he's hanging them because he's being a good dad and help me out. You just say the word and I'll make him wash his face. I'll throw another video on here in just a minute doing his face. He does whatever I tell him to anyway, so he'll do it. Give me 5 minutes, Jody, and I'll go get him from the laundry room and have him wash his face. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
You're wanted. He does whatever I tell him to anyway, so he'll do it.
But I can tell you right now, if I would have texted him and just say whatever I needed to say, I would do it.
The babies are in school today. It's the only way I can get all this done in one time. Literally, my entire kitchen is baked ready. Definitely would not be able to do this with the kiddos here.
I'll look at apartments for you guys, and like I would tell them, oh, I found an apartment that's like got a pool for your kiddos, and it's got a park for your kiddos, and
Definitely would not be able to do this with the kiddos here.
got a pool for your kiddos, and it's got a park for your kiddos, and
All right. And again, I played, Zoe says, ATS, you can do a great, I removed it. Do it. I removed it. Oh, Jay, you're here. We're pretty much done, but I'm so glad to see you. I hope you watch the replaying and give me a comment because I want your insight. But yeah, I mean, I hope that I've been able to kind of lay out. I mean, I think that this cyber stalking is significant evidence for, just a nefarious involvement that the mistress had. Again, I can't say with full certainty that she was involved in the murders, but I truly believe that the phone ping that morning in Frederick, when it never pinged there any other morning, phone pings have been used to arrest people. They've been used to convict people. I think that that's not anything that we should just, brush off and just say, oh, she was probably just driving to McDonald's in the morning and, her calling Jim right after or for that phone ping means nothing. I think that it certainly means something. I think that I've tried to lay out, the fact that NK is saying phrases that Shanann would say in her public live streams, which I think that this, even though, it was for work, I think it's important. Like, people who work online for their job should have a separate account than their personal one. So I don't know if there's lessons to be learned in true crime cases or not, but I think that this one kind of shows us that you need to kind of privatize your life online. You don't know who's watching, what their intentions are. Oh, thank you so much. What's the obsession? If Rourke did his job, we wouldn't even need to talk about this. Imagine that. I know, right? It's so true. It's so true. And unfortunate. I just feel like I've tried my best to lay out the phrases that she's using. I mean, for you to pick up on phrases from somebody, like, you must have really been watching them. And I think that the book reading comments that she was making and the kiddos comments and he'll do whatever I tell him to. I mean, it's just way too coincidental that she's saying, like, word for word almost what Shanann was saying. It's very creepy. There was other things too, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes in Shanann's live streams, she'll say a lot. Like, she'll say stuff and then she'll be like, a lot of ums come from Shanann sometimes. And if you listen to Nicole Kessinger's interviews, same thing. A lot of ums in between the sentences. Again, even I use the word a lot, so it's hard to kind of say, that's another example, but it was something that I kind of noted as I was doing some editing. But that's why this is the only social media I've got. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. It's very creepy. Very creepy. But yeah. Oh, there I go with Ben says, thanks, ATS. Great job, kiddo. Thank you. The language breakdown is imperative. I think so. And I'm curious if there's other examples that I just haven't found. If you guys find anything that you hear Shanann say, and then you listen to Nicole speak, and you're like, wait a minute, Shanann literally said that. Let me know. We got to keep these things going. I think that they're interesting and unsettling all at once. She wanted to be Shanann. I think so too. NK is so creepy. She gives me the chills. Why would she tell Watts, I would like to give you a son? And remember when when Chris tells them that during the prison interview, Tammy's like, why would she say that? Did she know Shanann? She knew Shanann was, or did she know Shanann was pregnant? And he was like, no. And she was like, but Shanann's Facebook was public. It's like, yeah, no SHIT, Tammy. Like, you're just now realizing this is unsettling. 2 months too late, because that prison interview was like February and plea deal was signed in November or whatever. Like, oh my gosh. Scottish Queen is here. Chris and NK with their obsessions with the word like. Right. But yeah, a lot of people have been saying they're not getting notifications for my live streams. I tweeted YouTube support on Twitter, aka X, and they said something along the lines of there's some like troubleshoot thing to do, and I don't know what they're talking about, but then there was something that they said, make sure the subscribers have it in their phone. Like, you can go into your phone and do, like, under settings, your notifications. So you go into settings and you go to notifications, and you have to make sure that it's on for YouTube, I guess. They were saying that will help you guys get the, so right now mine says off for YouTube. Maybe that's why I'm not getting notifications when my friends go live. But I try to be there when all you guys are going live anyways, if any of my friends are listening. But yeah, go into your notifications, make sure they're turned on. Apparently that's supposed to help you guys get notified. Also ring the bell. Don't know if that helps. But if you haven't been getting notified, try those out. Who knows? Okay, so Planet, I'm glad that you resubbed. You said, by the way, ATS, I had to unsub and resub to get notifications again. I've also heard that works. It's just ridiculous that we have to do these little things like that. Like, YouTube should be advanced enough where these glitches are taken care of. But try those things out. Yes, I got a new phone. That might be why. Yeah, maybe you need to just enable it. Never noticed the linguistic copies. Good catch. Thank you. The first one I did was when I was editing my whatchamacallit, the documentary. And, they talk about the books. And I always, you got to read and you got to read. Hold on, I'm trying to find that spot. But then, like, the more I was like listening, I'm like, wait, what the heck? How are there this many? Actually, no, I shouldn't say that was the first. The first one was CDT picking up the kiddos comment. And much like a lot of stuff that we brought up in this case, like, because we've been on here for so much longer than some of the YouTubers nowadays, we pointed that out. And much like the explosion theory and other theories we have, we would get trolled, and just so many people are like, no, absolutely not. I use kiddos all the time. You're reaching. So we were like, oh, okay, I guess, maybe we were looking into this too much. But then there's just more that come out. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't think that we're reaching.
Bad days. I have my off days. We all do. We're human, right? But on those days, I choose to do something that will bring me up, whether it's reading a book or reading a quote or reading something, finding something positive to read.
I told him a few times, you should take the time to read some articles about what separation does to kids. And I was like, I think you guys should just read about it. Just read. Like, that's what I always used to tell him. I'd always tell him to, like, I tell people to read about everything. Reading is so good for you.
Reading is so good for you. I tell everybody, really, you tell everybody to read, just like Shanann was on her live post. I think that was in May, before she goes to North Carolina, telling everyone, like, just read. It's just too much coincidences for it not to be related. Thank you, Liz, for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate you. Just reading comments, guys. I hope that you guys join me tomorrow night. Why no polygraph or NK? Another great live, ATS. Thank you, US. I appreciate that. And thanks for being a member for a year. Appreciate that too. So, I mean, nobody has to take a poly. We just never hear anyone say, would you be willing to take one? Which I find weird. Although I wouldn't be surprised if her interviews are heavily edited as well. The other issue is it seemed like the prosecution grabbed onto her to be their witness, kind of like the prosecution clung on to Amber Fry to be their witness in order to nail Scott Peterson. I think they were hoping NK would be their savior, like, oh, flip on him and, paint him as the bad guy. We need you on our side. So I think that she was just handled lightly for that reason, when I think they jumped to conclusions too quick with her. And then I think they were like, oh my gosh, this case is falling apart. Our witness, the mistress, is shady. The investigation was mishandled. We need to push for this plea deal. We need this plea deal. Thank you, Lulu. Also, the way NK posed with pictures with Chris, copied, aka replicated the poses Shanann did with Chris, kiss on the side of the head. Yes. Yeah, that was another thing. Good point. It's like, she was looking through all of her photos. And then I love it how she's like, and then I found out that he had 2 kids. Right. So you never knew before Chris mentioned the 2 kids that he had 2 kids, even though you were stalking his Facebook and her Facebook. And none of this stuff gets called out because I think that they were hoping she's going to be our star witness. And then everything started falling apart. And they're like, plea deal, please. We got to get this plea deal and make this all go away. Just looking at stuff, guys. I have that's the thing too, is I hate to complain, but I've been having headaches throughout this entire pregnancy so far. And it's like, it really puts a damper on things. I'm trying to read your comments. And at first I think, oh, I need to wear my glasses. No, it's just, I just have headaches. And I look it up and it's like, oh, headaches are normal. I'm like, what the heck? It's rough. You guys have no idea how lucky you have it. So what did RJ say? Because everyone's agreeing and I'm scrolling. I can't find his dang comment or her comment. Yeah, the giggle alone makes her sound foolish. Right. It's okay. Yeah, the hormones. Everything's the hormones. Okay. Do you think her dad had any impact on how she was treated? Yeah, I do. Just don't get why, really. I don't think that he was a Freemason like everyone's been saying. That's speculation. But oh, thank you, Watsy Obsession. I appreciate that. She's making dinner for her and her kiddo. Thank you. And yeah, Jay, I hope you watched the live stream. I tried to text you. Yeah, the effing plea deal. Thank you. Appreciate that, Unravel. Yeah, the dad was treating the investigators like he was their supervisor. Right. I do not think he was a Freemason either. That came out of nowhere. Right. I think people were just trying to explain, like, wait, why did she get handled so easily? He must have connections. And then other people are like, he used to be a police officer. I'm like, no. Although they did say that they knew someone with the Thornton PD. And remember, they were like, oh, we want to give her phone over, but to so-and-so. And Kobach at CBI was like, well, he's just going to give it to me. Pizza Chemist, thank you so much. Pizza Fund, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's weird. The pizza cravings I've had strictly have been Pizza Hut, and I don't know why. Because I'm in New York, there's so many other pizza places that are better than Pizza Hut, but for some reason I want that Pizza Hut one. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, Pizza Chemist. Yeah, but why and how, I'll never understand how she just walked. And I think that whole aspect kind of keeps us hanging on too. Dwayne probably off the record threatened a civil lawsuit. Could be. They did lawyer up pretty quick. I think it would be easy to see if he was or wasn't. He would at least have a picture out there at the with Mason's apron on. Yeah. Or like belong to one of those, what are they called? Not congregations, but just very weird. All right, guys. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I love Pizza Hut's crust the most. I think that's what it was. I'm like, I want that like deep dish, like crispiness. Yes, Lodge. Thank you. See, that's a thing. I have like pregnancy brain. Like my thoughts are just like slow. And I'm like, why can't I think of the word? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know the topic that I'm going to do for the next Watts live stream, but I want to keep it a secret. Surprise you guys. And I got to put stuff together for it because you guys know I like to get my visuals and show you why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. I hope that it was clear on some of the visuals and stuff I was trying to share tonight and convey to you guys why I think the way I do. Of course, you don't have to agree with my opinions or my speculation. I try to base them around facts and stuff that we do have. So I just appreciate you guys kind of brainstorming. You're 50% Italian and in New York and you choose Pizza Hut. Laughing my ass off. Something's wrong, Miss ATS. Yeah, I know. It's called hormones. It's like, what are you thinking, girl? All right. Yes. Come back tomorrow, Roxanne says to Melanie. Yeah, so that's the thing is this Micah case has been on my mind. I'm really down the rabbit hole of Micah, Sebastian Rogers, and the Karen Reed trial, as well as Watts, of course. But I have, I talked about my theory with Micah and why I felt the way I did the other night. If you haven't seen it, rewatch it. But I'm having different thoughts as well it's kind of like an alternative theory, which is totally opposite of what we talked about the other night, if you guys were here for that. So I might do that tomorrow night. It's going to be like alternative theories on her case. But again, it's not anything that I'm like set in stone on. It's just thoughts that I'm kind of having. What if it's this way and not that way type of stuff. which is kind of what I do when I look at these cases. You know, I try to look at it from all angles. I'm craving Pizza Hut now. We don't have it here anymore. What? I'm so sorry. Val's very interested in that trial, the Karen Reed one. Thank you, Pointer Lover. You see, Amber, all them cold nights, and look what happens. I know. And from my math, it seems like it was around Valentine's Day. ATS, look at your private messages. Not a happy girl, LOL. Oh, jeepers. Pizza, pineapple pizza with chocolate? Oh, your cravings. I could do pineapple pizza right now. Thank you, Cynthia, for becoming a member. Appreciate you. All right, guys, I think we'll end it there. Yes, exactly. I can't just get stuck on one track and think that that's it. That's a wrap. This is how it went, and that's how I feel. I just don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff with that Micah case, so I'm trying to look at it from different angles. Yeah, almost says there's something off with Micah. I agree. All right, yeah. Join me here tomorrow night, guys, and we will discuss things further. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. So goodbye.